5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
As we go on the air, we are in a weather impact alert as remnants of Beryl drench the bi-state. Right now, a flash flood watch in effect as the storm moves through the St. Louis area. We've sent the storm tracker out on the roads this evening. Here's a live look at some roads in South City. Our storm tracker headed south on I-44 eventually. This rain could impact your commute home. We've been getting reports of accidents and stalls on many of the major interstates. And if there are flash flooding problems, we will give you a live look. Beryl has been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone, but it's still making a mess as it travels northeast. Thanks for being here. I'm Kate Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. You know, some parts of the bi-state could get up to 4 inches of rain before Beryl moves out this evening.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with a first look at the weather impact forecast. Scott?
And we continue with our weather impact alert because we have seen as much as 2 to 4 inches of rainfall in the areas where the heaviest rain has been moving, in some cases over the same areas. It has caused a lot of accidents, and this is the biggest problem right now. It's really on the roads. We have a lot of slow traffic around St. Louis right now. That's 70 out in St. Charles. There's a wreck before you get to the Blanchette Bridge. Really has traffic slow and sluggish there. We have other accidents around the St. Louis area as well on 70, on 270, on 44, on 64, even the Page Avenue extension near 141. Several wrecks. Maryland Heights Police on the scene there. There's a look on the Illinois side. Rain's really coming down now out in O'Fallon. You didn't have it going as hard as it is now earlier, but this is the flood advisory. It covers all of the metro St. Louis area, all the way up into Montgomery and Macoupin County, and then all the way south into northern Iron and back into Phelps County. We're continuing to watch the remnants of Beryl as they move pretty close to Paducah now. We're surging that out, and we actually have some severe weather farther to the south, but for us, it's been all about the rainfall, and rainfall amounts have generally been between 2 and 4 inches in the narrower band that we expected to see. An additional inch or two of tropical rain can be expected this evening as we head to the northeast and east of St. Louis, where you see this heavier band setting up along 64 right now. So we're shifting the heaviest rain into the metro east, and we're also shifting that severe weather threat out of southern portions of Illinois and towards the Wabash River. Right now, tornado warnings in effect very close to the Evansville area. We'll see you in a few minutes, Brent.
All right, we'll check back in with you. Tonight's game is actually postponed. This is between the Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals. The teams will now play a split doubleheader tomorrow at Busch. The first game set for 12:45. Game 2 is set for 6:45. The Missouri Highway Patrol is investigating after a body was recovered from the Merrimack River in Fenton today. Troopers say someone spotted that body floating in the river near Denny Dennis Sporting Goods store. That's off Gravois Road. A medical examiner was called in, but victims in this case has not been identified just yet.
Right now, people in 2 Missouri communities are remembering a fallen firefighter. Matt Tobin, the assistant fire chief in Boone County, died while trying to rescue 2 people from a tree during flash flooding in Columbia Monday. Tobin is from Union, Missouri. That's where our Annie Krall spent the day speaking with first responders who knew him.
The rainy conditions on Tuesday made the funeral procession all the more somber for Assistant Fire Chief Matt Tobin and the approximately 100-mile drive from Columbia here to Union. Those who worked with him said he was one of the best, making this drive worth it. Tobin was working alongside a Columbia firefighter on Bear Creek when the boat they were in overturned and lost power. To recognize the tragedy, a nearly 2.5-hour procession carrying Tobin's body arrived at his hometown in Union around 12:30 p.m. Hundreds of firefighters and first responders from across the area came to pay tribute to the hero lost in the line of duty. Gail Blumenkamp with Boone County Fire Protection District told us the other firefighter and 2 additional victims are in good condition now after being re-rescued Monday morning around 5 o'clock.
Chief Tobin made an attempt to grab a tow line, and from there he never resurfaced. And so he was about 30 feet from the boat, had got tangled up in some rope, and was never able to regain that.
Chief Tobin leaves behind 2 young children and his wife Jacqueline. Reporting in Union, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol's water team is looking into what happened. They tell us they are still investigating the cause of the power outage on the boat.
Well, right now, officers are searching for a prisoner who escaped custody in Warren County. The Missouri Highway Patrol tells us the prisoner was being moved from Nebraska to North Carolina when the transport service stopped at the Wright City rest area. This was just before 9 last night. Well, that's when the prisoner escaped, running east on Veterans Memorial Parkway. The prisoner is described as a man in his mid-30s. He was wearing a white T-shirt at the time and black pants with a colostomy bag. He has multiple tattoos. If you see him, call police right away.
Hours ago, Missouri Governor Mike Parson signed a handful of bills into law, including one that bans celebratory gunfire. It's called Blairs Law, named after Blair Shanahan Lane, who died from a stray bullet July 4th, 2011 at a barbecue in Kansas City. Her mother, who pushed for this legislation for over a decade, attended today's signing. She said she'll continue to be an advocate for future victims.
Nobody else should sit in my seat, and since Blair, many people have, and the crime continues to take place. So to be a voice and to educate and advocate is something I will continue to do with regards to this.
The governor also signed Valentines Law today. It's named for St. Louis County Police Detective Antonio Valentine, who died in 2021 after a fleeing suspect crashed into him. The law makes it a felony to flee a law enforcement vehicle.
Right now, St. Louis city leaders discussing how to spend that RAM settlement money. In fact, a meeting is happening right now for the public. It's at City Hall until 5:30 tonight. The Board of Aldermen is looking at using that money on two of the top priorities you picked, making city streets safer and free or subsidized childcare. If you can't attend in person, it's also happening on Zoom. We've posted a link for you on KSDK.com. Just look for this story in the As Seen on TV section. Well, you can now play basketball at Forest Park. Just hours ago, city leaders held a ceremony for the first basketball courts at the popular park. You can find them near the Forest Park Visitor Center. There are 2 full courts there, 2 half courts with lighting, a shade pavilion, and seating. So when it's not raining, go check it out. The courts are named after Nicholas Booker, a St. Louis area basketball player who died after an asthma attack in 2018. His parents said he would be so happy to see 2 of his favorite things coming together.
Nick loved basketball, and he also enjoyed the time he spent working in Forest Park. It was then that he developed an admiration for the park and for all of the wonderful people who make this a great place to be.
A dedication ceremony for the new basketball courts happening Saturday morning with several games afterwards. If you want to play, you'll have to register ahead of time. We have that info for you also on KSDK.com.
It's a grand opening that's been years in the making. We'll take you to the new Clark family branch of the St. Louis County Library.
And some good news for a rural community that lost its firehouse to a fire. The gift that will help rebuild the Eminence Fire Department.